Hi, my name is Jennessa, and I go to Northgate here in Benicia. So I graduated high school in 2018, and leading up to my graduation, my life kind of exploded. My family and I left the church that we had been going to for almost my whole life, and that kind of changed and upended a lot of my hopes and plans. I was praying about joining the youth group as a leader. I was getting more involved and getting better at doing worship. I was just being discipled and poured into, and in a flash, that was all gone. And second, my best friend and I, who I had been friends with for almost 18 years, we got in a really bad fight. Unfortunately, ended our friendship. So I graduated, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job at that point, and when I did get a job, it was a terrible job, and I had no definite plans for my future. I entered into a depression and was feeling things I had never dealt with before, sadness, anxiety, but also an apathy towards those things. It was hard for me to care because when I looked toward my future, I didn't see anything there. So at that point, my family had started trying out Northgate, and it was completely different from what we were used to, but it was really good, and God really began to reach me here and soften my heart through this messages, which were like strangely on point to what I needed to hear, the worship. I was learning what it really meant to build a home in His presence. He was assuring me every day of my purpose and my value. So in this healing and growing process, there's been a lot of steps for me, and recently God revealed that my next step was to find community and get involved in some way. I remember one morning in particular, I was spending time with God, and He gently reminded me that, hey, you've known your next step for a while, you really need to be active about praying for it. So I did. I was like, okay, just guide me, please. Open the doors that I need to walk through. Give me discernment to see those open doors. And literally that same day, my brother came home from work, which is the church, and he said, hey, are you interested in doing worship for the youth group? And I knew that my answer was a yes, despite how unqualified I may have felt or nervous. It was just confirmation. I was like, wow, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Even though everything that I've been through the last year and a half, 2 years, has been incredibly hard and just difficult to go through, I don't regret it because I know that I'm walking in my purpose, and through this, God has just grown me so much. I love Him more than ever. I know with absolute conviction who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, and I see the fruit of that. I see how it's impacted myself and those around me, and it's the best feeling in the world to be walking in your purpose, to know you're right where you're supposed to be. One of the biggest things I learned through this process is just getting on my knees before the Lord and submitting everything. I really like to hold on to stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And something that's just, I want to encourage anyone who's listening, true change is going to come when you surrender everything. Surrender your hopes, your dreams, your fears, your anxiety. Those aren't your burdens, those aren't yours to keep, they're God's, and there's true freedom in that. When He has all of that for you and He's leading the way, you're able to find who God has made you to be and walk in that with conviction and confidence.